Hello, hello.
Hello.
I'm so happy to be here with these two beautiful people. Thank you for reaching out to me and wanting to create this. It is Christine Beyond, and I'm here with the beautiful Michelle and her beautiful partner, Oleg. Oleg.
You could call him Flo.
Flo. How did we meet, Michelle? I know it's kind of like different places at different times. There's like quite a few times where we kept running into each other.
Yeah. I followed you on Instagram. You hit me up on Instagram. You're like, oh, what do you do acro? Like, I really want to do that. And I was like, I do. I'm like, come. Yeah. And you're like, okay, how much? I'm like, just come for free. Like, let's just hang out. Like, I love your energy. And I just wanted to like be in your presence.
Yeah, I feel like with you, it was just like different times that I met you. Like, I know we did like Landmark around the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And I think ran into you at a restaurant years ago. And then I found you on Instagram, and then I was just in love with your lifestyle. Like, I was just like, can I do yoga with you guys? And then here we are now. We've had a couple of times where we've hung out, and it's just been so magical.
Super magical.
Yeah. We want to talk about your guys' life and what you've created and, KURMA Life. And I want you to share how you came up with that name and what it's all about. Like, what do you guys do? What do you guys do for humanity, for people? I know you're into health and fitness and just living like a positive, loving life. So if you want to share how you got the name and what does it mean? What is it all about?
Yeah. I'll let you share the name.
Well, the name Kurma in Sanskrit means turtle. And I think turtle is the best example of longevity, vitality. And it also helps you to slow down in life, because I feel like we all go on such a high pace of life, and the idea of this program is to reconnect with your body, to reconnect with the way you live in every way of being.
Yeah, on a cellular level, be more connected to your true essence and not be so in the cloud bubble.
What inspired KURMA Life?
Well, for me, it was like this magical journey. I was like making my own meal prep. I worked at a raw juice bar for like 3 years, and I learned so much in my own body going through that experience. I needed a lot of cleansing. I was very addicted to drinking and smoking and fast food and like all those crazy addictions that are real. And I had this experience going through the juice bar, and I just fell in love with like the food and like how alkaline I felt in my body, and all the diseases I healed for myself. I've healed like fibromyalgia, heartburn, cancer, clicking knee, acid refluxes, so many things in my own physical form that it was like, no, like the world must know. Because when people say like, oh, I have an autoimmune disease, oh, I'm ADHD, it's like, no, you're really not any of those things. It's really what we're putting in that makes a difference. So I started this Gypsy Greens meal prep business, and we met. He taught at Bhakti, and I went to his handstand workshop, and that's how we met. And then we kind of like linked in later, and he was like eating the food, and he helped me get some clients in LA. So I was like shipping food to LA, and sometimes packaging would get bad, and I'd give him like extra food. And so he was eating the food, and then he felt like a shift in his body, and he's like, wait, there's like a lot to this food. And I was like, no, like, I'm glad you're feeling the experience, because it's a cellular experience, so you have to experience it. Then he was like working on my like every way of being, and at first I was like kind of like in my own self like insulted. We're so hard on ourselves, so he's like helping me like walk, right? He's like, if you just walk like this, you can correct like all these things in your body. And I'm like, in myself, I'm like, well, what's wrong with my body? And like, like getting in my own little world, and then like not trying on what he had to offer, right? And then like I thought about it, and I was like, well, what do I have to lose? Like he's eating my food, like why don't I just try on like what he has to offer? And it happened like quickly, within like not even a month. This protruded tailbone that I've had even as a child, my whole existence, I've always had this protruding in my tailbone. So I made up stories. I was a cat in a past life. I whacked it so many times skateboarding and snowboarding. Like I've made so many excuses to have this in my life. And in reality, it didn't really have to exist. I just had to learn how to re-engage. And he's like the magic when it comes to the physical form. He's been doing physical practice for 30 years. And I was just like, wow, like I actually tried on what you said and my thing is going away. I was like blown away. And then I was like, no, the world must know like the dynamic of like the food and like the posture awareness really can change your whole way of being, mentally, physically, and everything. So
what is it exactly that like you told her? Because I have like the worst knots all up and down my like left shoulder blade, and it just, I could feel it when I'm reading. So is it like different types of stretching positions and stuff like that? Is that like what you did? And
it's a great question, because if you think about it, your body is a machine. We have advanced in so many ways of our existence in electronics. We went to the moon. We have science. We have like so many achievements, but when it comes to a physical body and awareness about own physical body and understanding your own physical body language and symptoms, we are completely ignorant, unfortunately. And at some point, you know, like I just start studying and observing different people of different age and people that do sports, people that don't do sports. I realized that posture is way more important than we think. Because if your vehicle running wrong when you're driving the car and let's say your brake doesn't work, or you know, your tires are not completely, you know, like something is wrong with your car, you're not going to drive it. But when something wrong with our body or disalignment or imbalance, we're still driving it and we're pushing it. So I start working on different ways how to enhance the posture, and it works miraculously.
It's truly amazing. Like, it's crazy when you really start to tap into your every way of being and everything, like even today or like last night. And it's so cool to see my daughter like put it on, because we went to go get some like cases of sparkle waters and I had both in one hand, and she goes, well, shouldn't you balance it on both hands? And I'm like, because she's listening to how we always talk and communicate, like, no, balance on both sides, make sure the bags are even, like, because, you know, like the school, like when we were younger, right, we wore the one-sided like backpack, like totally putting ourselves out of the light, like all those little things that we do, the way we stand, like our couches, like everything is like to be like
you
this.
guys don't even have a couch, right?
This is our couch.
They're the real yogis right here. Yeah, so when I saw you just stretching away at the beach, it was so inspiring, because there's so many of us in the world that don't do that, and you know, we're slouching or we're depressed or we're bored, and it's like, why don't we just come back to our bodies? And you know, our body houses our soul. It's like our body is everything. It's our house, it's our home, like you said, it's our car, like. So I just want to acknowledge you for like inspiring people and just your lifestyle and what you do.
Thank you. I believe nowadays, like, we supposed to be the example, the time of example and the truth. What you said is very important, because not so many people pay attention to body and the body language. Right. If you think about it, like, okay, we have like the most advanced fitness system. We have yoga studios in every corner. We have like the medical, the pharmaceutical, everything. We spend so much money on that. And yet, when it comes to physical body, how often do we think, what do our body really need? How well do we understand what our body wants? It's like your body is asking for one thing and you give completely different.
You guys get people on healthy lifestyles. You teach them how to stretch the body and stuff. Like, you guys do 21 days, right? So why don't you share about why 21 days?
It's a good question. It was originally designed, we set it up for 28 days. And then as we like been doing this for a couple of years with clients, we noticed like what happens is like the 20th day or within like that like 3-week mark, that's when they really like get the transformation. I was with my daughter's friend mom, and she's like, you know, like you actually are giving people the food from the Bible. I was explaining to her like what happens in 28 days. Like, you get this like euphoric like closeness to source. Like you can feel yourself again, like the clarity's there, like you're not sluggish, you don't need coffee, you don't need anything. You're just like a cool vessel that runs smoothly all the time. Wow. And so she was like, but you know why? And I was like, why? She goes, you're giving people the Daniel's diet from the Bible. And I was like, or the Daniel's fast. And so I was like, wow, that is so true. And that's how I feel. It's like it does open you up closer to source. It makes you a better human. Like you just have so much clarity on your own actions and your own way of feeling inside. It just really is like a nice way to detox and cleanse with still eating food. Yeah. And then once you feel that experience, you like want to feel that experience all the time. So when you go back to like the numbers and the things that actually fog you up, you actually feel it because you took the 21 days to like detox and feel a different feeling. So then when you go back to the old feeling, it's like day and night. Like you really are aware now. And that's really what it's for me, is like to awaken as many people as possible. So we have multiple ways to get out there. You know, we do workshops, retreats, and now we're creating our online program because it's really just getting the messages to as many people as possible to be more aware of what we're putting in does matter. We can't keep using those cliches. We can't just keep saying those cliche things like in moderation. Well, I don't do it all the time. Like, no, like it really matters because there's so many ingredients and so many things that are so bad for us. And until we feel what it feels like to not have those things in our life, then we can feel again. And I've been an addict of all kinds and I've been addicted to many things. And the one thing that was probably the hardest is the commercialized stuff, the refined sugars, the gluten, the dairy, the real drugs that were so brainwashed to say like those aren't drugs, that marijuana and shrooms and all these other things are drugs, but in reality those are the real drugs, because those drugs numb us and we can't feel our body. Like, you know, you can't have sex, like you don't feel like, nothing feels good when you're not alive. No energy. So when you put cellular vibrating high alkaline, the real food, the real good stuff in your body is like alive just like you are. So it's like on a cellular level, you everything's feel alive. Your skin, your hair, all of it.
Energy is
your
just like
energy
on a whole new level.
On a whole new level. And we should all feel like this as humans in our human race. Like, wouldn't you want this for your children? Like, wouldn't you want your kids to be vibrant, you know? And it's like, people always go like, what do you feed your kid? And it's like fruit. Like if I just fill my house
real
with
food,
real fruit, like, and you actually let the kid decide, they usually choose the fruit 90% of the time. But we think that they need these like processed little gummies with the animal characters that they like and whatever all that stuff is. And it's super fun as a mom to like buy them that stuff. But in reality, it's like poisoning them. And that's where it breaks my heart. It's like...
And also, like, what I would like to add is I used to work in rehab in Malibu for 10 years. And what you do, you come for 28 days to rehab clinic. Why? Because you need a momentum. Because you are conditioned for certain lifestyle on a chemical level, on emotional level, on every level. And we want to change the lifestyle, but it's very hard to actually do it because we are programmed to do mechanically the same things all over again every day. So then I thought, why not to create a program when people can come not only for healing, not only like to cure like some terrible addiction, why not to create a program where people can improve themselves?
100%.
Why we're always in defense? Why we never think about transformation? And then like we realize that if you really truly want to help people, we need to create for them an experience that would not only create the momentum, but also develop their own intelligence, how to communicate with the body, how to read the symptoms, how to treat it right, how to put the right fuel into your body. That was the main motivation to create,
be able to do it on your own without relying on somebody else to do it for you, but showing you how simple it is to do it on your own. And when you do it on your own, then it becomes a habit forever. You have yourself. That's all you need is yourself and learning.
Yourselves.
And yourself.
yourselves. Yeah.
It's like once you know, like, the things that you know, you can't undo the knowing. Like once I realized like the list of all the ingredients of the things we put in, like especially like red 40 dye, you know, it's like in everything for our children, like the colors and all that stuff. But then like when you really break it down and you read what it does to you, it's like you really can't like put that in your body anymore, because you're like, this is my Ferrari, like I like put premium in mine, you know, like it's like, but
Tesla.
It's heartbreaking. I remember crying my eyes out all the time, because it was like someone took my perfect life, my mirror, and just like took a sledgehammer and like broke it to pieces, because it was like, wait, like all the things that like I was programmed in society to buy Easter eggs and the holidays and like all this stuff, like I was totally that Target shopper of $300 filling it up with all these poisons, like thinking that it's like what I'm supposed to be doing. And then like once I learned like, no, like these things don't serve us as humanity, it was like Santa Claus wasn't real anymore. It was like so sad. It was like, wait, I can't even put Crest toothpaste in my mouth. Like it was like everything I put in was poison. So it was like, wait, what can I put in, you know?
But then you got introduced to all of this stuff that you're a part of now, and it's even better.
And now it's better, but it was really hard at first. It was like really heartbreaking. It was like I cried. I'm like, wait, no more Twizzlers, no more like whatever, like Kit Kats or like whatever that stuff was. It was like, no, you have to really let it go, you know? And once I did, then I was able to feel again. It was like, I didn't even know what an orgasm was until my 30s. Like, that's like sad, you know, like, but being in my body, in my physical body, and like knowing like what I'm about and like my passions and purpose, I would have never been able to discover it living in my numb bubble. Yeah. And so now that I'm not in my numb bubble and I'm in my live bubble, I want to keep my live going on.
Actually, like in your body now.
I'm like in my body. I became an acrobat. I'm almost 40. Like, what the heck? You know what I mean? Like in my 30s, I was like preparing my funeral, like picking my post and like where I'm going to die, you know, like it was like day and night. And it's just from the food and our every way of being and our posture and all of it. And we just need to, as a collective, really start cultivating that in our every way of being. And he's really good at creating new possibilities in our cars. And he's so like, he's like, I call him like Tesla in a way in the human body, because his skills of the knowledge of how we are in every way, it's like he really points it out. It's so cool to have a posture police on my side all the time because it makes a difference.
When did you start getting into this amazing lifestyle? Was it forever you're like this, or was there a certain age that you awoke in?
I love your questions.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Well, I was doing yoga since I was 15 years old, and I've been doing it for so many years. And before I was doing sports, I was in Ukrainian national judo team, and I had a lot of injuries. And but to be honest, like until recently, I felt like for the first time in my life, a couple years ago, I realized that we have to connect with our bodies. And before that, it was not connection. It was more like ego-centric goals. Like, I want a flat stomach. I want muscles. I want to be lean. I want to do a handstand. I want to do different things. But then, like, does your body need it? When I start changing it and I start making love to my body, because you think about it, most of us approaching the body not from the love making, but more like a dictator. Is it like, just eat it? And if some people eat the same food every day, or like protein, or some other rigid stuff, you know what I mean? Like, or they do the same things, and I'm gonna run for 20 miles. Does your body need to run for 20 miles? But you know, like we were so much distracted in this life not to actually think about what is the most important is your body, because what can you do without your body?
temple. You're one.
In general,
You're
without
one
your
home.
body, you cannot do anything here. And your body is the most important. But through religion, mostly that was told us like, no, it's shameful to think about your body. No, you become ego-driven if you think about your body. No, you become ego-driven if you don't think about your body. And they're the truth.
What are a couple of ingredients that you would share with people to like take out of your diet? And then what are some of your favorite meals that you love to give to your clients and that you like to make yourself?
That's a good one. I'll answer that because I do all of that. For me, like, I really enjoy, my girlfriend introduced me to this trialphala tea. It's from Banyan, and you can get it on Amazon. And it's basically like some Ayurvedic herbs, and you just put it with warm water. And starting your day with that, it really cleanses the body. It really purifies the body. And I really highly recommend most of my clients to do intermittent fasting. Most of the toxins we release is first thing in the morning. So if we could just stick with like liquids, like warm water with lemon, you know, it keeps his body alkaline as long as possible, reduce all the toxins, and then try to eat after like 12:30. You know, I normally go like around 2, sometimes 3 or 4, depending on how busy I get. But you get used to the intermittent fasting. We were so programmed to like eat your breakfast and like do all this and like
breakfast, lunch,
and
dinner,
like
snacks.
yeah, and then like don't eat late. Like, but that's like not real. Like I used to like torture my body, and then I'm like, no, like I like to eat when I want. And for me, like every client's so different too. It's like you can't really say like there's only like one way, but
Yeah, everyone's different.
everyone's different. But for me, I love salads or like my raw wraps and things like very alkaline for lunch. And then in dinner, I don't know, I love nourishment. So that's why I kind of like stemmed away from raw food, because I also like cooked food. I love soups, and it's still liquid. It's still hydrating. And so I do love a good curry soup in the evening. I love dessert too. So like I said, I was an alcoholic. I'm almost on my 2-year mark of no drinking. And I'm super grateful for that journey. I love sugar. I love eating my cheesecakes. So that always consists.
I love sugar too.
Yes.
But like the good sugar, right? Like
good
I love
sugar.
dates.
Dates.
Now, and
Yes.
like figs. I know your friend made these
Yes.
delicious cookies, and I'm like, oh my God, they're so sweet and yummy. And literally she was just like, it's just dates and figs, and
that's it. Like
I could eat this all day.
you could replace anything with those natural sweeteners, and people are like, but dates have a lot of sugar. And it's like, well, if you eat the Snicker bar and the dates, then yes, it's a lot of sugar. But if you actually choose dates over the commercialized stuff, you'll start to transform, and you can change like your thoughts. Like one of my favorite things, like when I'm running like retreats and stuff, I'm so busy like preparing other people's food. Like it's hard for me to like eat because I'm like wanting to make sure everyone's taken care of.
The same way.
But I love sugar, and I like to keep moving. So I like my go-to is a date with walnut. And then like you could just visualize it's like a Twix bar, you know, it's like crunchy, it's caramely, it's like all of it, you know, it's what you create.
Dates are literally Earth's candy. It's
100%.
like nature's candy. It's so sweet and yummy and
so
delicious. I
sweet
love
and
dipping it
yummy.
in like hummus or tahini.
Anything,
Like anything.
salads.
It's like it reminds me of Thanksgiving. Like just the date dipped
by
in
itself.
like bitchin sauce or like some type
Anything.
of hummus. And it's like Thanksgiving.
And
for
like
me.
3 of them is like satiating, right? Like I remember when I was going through like my own personal detox, because we had cameras at the juice bar, and he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, why? And he goes, because I just like saw you like mow down like 10 dates right now. And I was like, but it was me detoxing the alcohol. Like my body was so used to consuming so much sugar. It was like I had to like replace the addiction with some other addiction, right?
Yeah.
But it was like cool to witness like my body. I had to like tell it like, no, you're just going through a moment.
Transforming.
I'm transforming. Like I'm not always going to eat
the
excessive
machine,
amounts of
like
dates.
you said, the machine is transforming.
You know, I would like say that Michelle is just amazing with rebuilding relationship with food. So much focus on calories, with so much focus on
Keto.
protein. Yeah, what is the name of your diet?
Yeah.
Raw or cooked? cooked, and it's like, come on, can we just find a balance and approach to food?
Stop labeling yourself, because labeling is like isolating.
I was vegan for, like more than 20 years. And when I first met Michelle, like, how can you surprise me? Like I was chubby, I was unhealthy. I was completely disappointed in being vegan. And when I met her and she started feeding me, all my problems with gut went away. And it's like embarrassing to talk about these problems, but it was simply gone. And I didn't know it was possible to cure this problem. I thought like some problems stay with you for the rest of your life.
That's what most of us believe. We believe we need a pill. We need this something to make us feel better. But in reality, we have our own mechanisms in our body that tell us, like, I know when I eat too many nuts, my gallbladder, I can feel it now. Whereas before, I'm like, what's a gallbladder? Like I didn't, you know what I mean? But it's like what we put in really makes a difference.
What are a couple of oils that we should be staying far away from?
Yes, that's a good question. Really pay attention what the process in the ingredients, because they'll slip in that canola oil, they'll slip in that refined sugar, they'll still slip in those ingredients like multidextrin, like those things that don't make us feel good. I mean, the list is really long, but to narrow the list, if you can't pronounce it, don't put it in. If it's like $1, don't put it in. If it's really colorful, most likely don't put it in. If it comes through the drive-through, there's so many like simple ways of like eliminating like corn syrup, right? That's number one. Canola oil for me. Obviously refined sugar is like a death trap because it's so addictive. It's just as addictive as alcohol or any other opiates out there. And then the dairy, and that's really like those 4 things for me personally, I just cannot put in anymore at this point. So if I read it and it looks so good, I'm like, why'd you gotta slap in the canola oil? Why? It's like you made it so clean and then you put in the canola, and it's just, for me, like the oil makes us sluggish. Excessive amounts of anything is not good, but olive oil, and I don't personally use it, but I'm wanting to try it, is the avocado oil. Like those are like the cleaner oils.
Coconut oil, maybe?
And definitely coconut oil.
I heard coconut oil could handle high heat very well.
And avocado too.
Okay. Yeah.
But I personally don't put oil in my food unless I have like friends that make me food, or sometimes I will put maybe a little bit in. I try my best to not.
Right.
As much as possible.
I just want to like inspire people to like find joy also in like reading ingredients, because I know not a lot of people have time or like to do that. I find joy out of it, and I know like there's a lot of products out there that it'll say in big words like low in calorie, like low in sodium, natural, organic, or even like organic stuff. A lot of it has these ingredients. But when you first see it, it'll have all these big words, and then people are just like, it's healthy. Really like take the time to turn it around and read the ingredients. And like you said, if you can't pronounce it, if there's this color and that color, like we highly recommend to just stay far away from it.
All that stuff that we give our children, break it down, and you can actually Google every ingredient and it will tell you the side effects. We use these terms, in moderation and blah, 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 because they don't want us to sue them in the long run, right? So it's like you can never determine what poison was really the altering, right? Because if you do a little bit of poison of all poisons from everywhere, then you'll never be able to determine what poison is causing the real poison in the body. So if we could just avoid the poisons, it's like we would just be better off.
Or simply eat everything that is not out of the box.
Out of the box.
Just very simple philosophy we have. Just eat natural food. There is nothing more powerful. No supplements. Nothing more powerful. Just water and food. Just natural food.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. I love that so much.
And like the sauces and anything like I make is like 3 or 4 ingredients, and it's really
that's all you need.
fast.
Like
that's
3
all
ingredients.
you need. 3 or 4 ingredients, and it tastes amazing. One of our clients was like, very foodie and like high-end client, like very likes to go out to eat, very fancy and all that. And I'm like, okay, I I hope he likes, because the list of the things that he didn't like was like a lot of the vegetables that are in the food. And I'm like, oh my goodness, nervous. But then he's like, wow, this is like so amazing. And I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm like, because it has cabbage and sprouts and like all the things you said you didn't like. He goes, but no, the way you put it together, it's so amazing. And I'm like, thank you. It's the sauce, you guys. Sauce is simple. It's super simple. Put it on.
Have you ever had a client who was allergic to like a lot of stuff? And then how do you handle that? Because there's people that come up to me that are like, how should I replace this? And I'm really into this. And what's a healthier option? Recently, I got someone who was like, you know, my daughter is allergic to literally everything. So what do you do in like those situations? I guess there's always like a way around it. There is a way,
100%. That's actually a really good question, because that's how like a lot of my new recipes come out because of clients. Like my first one couldn't chew. And I'm like, wait, raw food is all chewing. So then that's when I got into soups. I'm like, wait, how am I going to help somebody if they can't chew? So there's always a way to improvise. The cool part is the clients actually help you with that. Like one client was allergic to walnuts, which I don't use that many walnuts in my recipes. I do use a lot of coconut. And our last client had a coconut allergy. And I'm like, oh, gosh, this is tricky, because like all my desserts are mostly coconut milk and all these things. So it was funny, like randomly at my yoga studio, the owner was like advertising this like clean tofu that's like clean ingredients. So I was like, oh, I'm like, what if I put tofu instead of coconut in the cheesecake? And the dates is the sweetener, so it actually was the great replacement. And I actually liked the texture of the tofu. It was like a different feel. It was like silky. It was like a new world. So I was like, thanks, Chris. Or, you know, beautiful. The client, if he doesn't mind me saying his name, he's here now. But yeah, so it was a challenge in the beginning. And then like, I'm human too. And like, I had something that like had coconut in it, and it was an accident, right? But what happens is when you heal the body after a certain amount of time, the coconut actually didn't affect him. And it happens to a lot of people. I actually learned from this really great doctor, Dr. Burns. He taught me, like, you won't be allergic forever. You just have to take away from now. What he taught me, as I teach for everybody, it's like, depending on the extremity of their allergic reaction, but there's always a way, a texture or a different nut or something you could replace it with. And it makes it fun because you get creative to try something new on, you know? And then over time, if you really cleanse the gut, you'd be surprised you could actually incorporate it back in, and then they're not allergic anymore. And that's actually the cool part. So now my client eats coconut all the time. and that's for a lot of people. I know there's like certain ones like peanuts and like certain ones that stick forever, because my daughter has that.
There's a way around.
There's always a way around.
Beautiful. What are some challenges you have faced being a holistic health coach? I know you're talking about, oh, there's some people that have allergies, but that's been a beautiful challenge. Are there other challenges that you have experienced ever since you started doing this?
I think the biggest challenge is that people don't value their health. And I have to come up with these ideas and to tell people, just imagine that your body worth $1 million. It's ridiculous. But people take care of their car, their house way more than they take care of their health. And when they experience problems with the body, when the body is already screaming for help, they just want to fix it really fast and to move on to what they've been doing before. And when you ask them, listen, like, you need to slow down, you need to reprogram your body, recondition your body, you need a holistic approach. He said, I don't have the time, just fix my problem. But you cannot fix a problem because after a while you just don't feel good. And when you don't feel good, if you don't slow down, if you don't treat your body right, let's say your car breaks, what do? You take it to a body shop, you know, like, and we like this human body shop as we see ourselves, that we take you and we see what your body needs, and everybody is different, and we teach people how to approach their own body. But people don't have time, so to speak, and they say, I don't have time, let's do it fast. And say, like, no, like, do you want to just finish your life fast, and that's your goal?
Well, and it took 30 years to get that way. So then people expect like to reverse it in 3. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. It took 30 years.
They want that magic pill right now.
They want that magic pill, and that's the truth.
Like if I ask you, for example, like if you approach your body, like, do you want us to approach your body and fix you fast? Or you want us to go and to see maybe like you need hip realignment, maybe your spine, maybe this, maybe your lungs, maybe your body language, but we over tense the muscles, we over tense the breathing, we're always in distress condition. And then we keep drinking more caffeine, we keep using more stimulants, and we're trying to get more energy from the stimulants, but it's a paradox. You cannot get more energy from burning yourself out.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's so true. Like I've given people stuff like Kangen water or my power shake with Purium. They're like, oh, like I don't feel anything, you know, da da da. And I'm like, it's not really about like the feeling, like that's gonna come, but it's more just knowing that this is like healthier. Some people, they just right away, like just if they're not feeling a difference, then it's not for real, or it's not healthy,
it's
or
too
it's not
simple.
Yeah,
it's like, because I'm very guilty of that. It's too simple, right? Like him teaching me how to walk, I'm like, that's too simple. That can't be real, you know. But it is real. Like what I realize, like I have to tell clients, like the Peter Pan theory is like what I really preach, because it's like you have to believe on a cellular level that this is the main cell, and all these other cells respond to this one cell, right? So it's like to really get into like that magic of what you think is what you get is really hard for people to like really get, because we're so in our Captain Hooks and like our always way of knowing and always way of listening. And if it's too simple, it doesn't work. But in reality, that is what makes it work, is the magic. You have to believe in it working, because your cells are going to respond to you believing that it's working, right? For example, like we were moving and like a lot of stuff is going on, like energetically I was just like, ugh, like I don't care. Like in my cells I was like, blah. And then like I'm like, whoa, like stuff was coming out, and I was like, wow, like just from my own thoughts. Like my diet didn't really change, it was just the thoughts. Like I just kind of was like, I don't have time, blah. But the cells respond to that, I don't have time, blah. So then I'm like, wait, no, I have time. Squeeze it and hold it, be aware, and it changes instantly. But it's
power of the mind.
The power of the mind. It's like, so that's where I feel like we struggle, is for clients, it's like, it's too simple. Like just fix your posture and eat clean. But there's layers to it, and honoring the emotions that come out, like
having that glass of water in the mornings before like even touching food.
Very huge. And just changing like those little things and watching yourself react. It's crazy. There's so many emotions and attachments to like our every way of doing things, and that's actually sometimes what breaks us, right? Is our favorite things. To tell someone to take their pacifier away, they're like, no, don't give me my pacifier.
Yeah, and you guys do that on a daily basis with your clients. Like
this is the most difficult.
It is the most difficult.
It's like fighting for you. It's like for your good sake, you know, but fighting because you're fighting back, because you're conditioned for you know, to be this way.
And to keep your habits.
And to keep your habits, yes. And in a way, like you're like trying to do good to this person, but you know, like as a result, you are being attacked. Yeah. And you're like, why I'm doing what I'm doing, you know?
God signed you up for this. Yeah, he's just like, do it.
He's like, here,
I feel the same way.
Right? It was like, and then like when my girlfriend or my daughter's best friend's mom told me about the Bible, I was like, wow, that is really deep. I'm like, wow, he is there, he is listening, he is guiding us. We just have to tap into it.
Yeah, we're on that frequency where we just are healing ourselves, and we want to be there to inspire, to help heal others as well.
100%. And let them know it's okay to be ugly, right? It's okay to be like crazy. The beauty of community is to be able to hold space. That's what we're here for, and for humanity. Like that's why we do these retreats, is to hold space for people, to show them their ugly selves. Like the more uglier, the better it is, you guys.
So they can see their beautiful selves.
So they can see
the true beauty.
The true beauty, because we all want to be beautiful. We all want to feel good. We all have the same purpose, and it's like, but we all can do it, you guys. We just have to denumb ourselves.
And the only way onto the other side is through. So you have to go and cleanse and Whoever said healing is easy or pretty is wrong, but it's so worth it. Like you said, having community, and you know, I know you guys create amazing retreats. So why don't you share a little bit about what the retreats are about and how ugly and pretty they are?
Yeah, this is
how beautiful it is.
Yes, I'll speak for the last one we did. It was like we had a lot of people and we cleansed through the food. So intermittent fasting, just lunch and dinners and things like that. But people, like, you know, you're in a different country, so they're like, oh, I really want to eat my food. Like, I can't get this, I can't get that. And like, oh, but what about just one ice cream? And I'm like, you know, so then you see like the people's habits and like what is causing, you know, the imbalance in their body. So it's like showing them, like, when it comes up, you like show them like, look, like, you know, how often does this come up? And like, and then like they learn things about the food, like they didn't know, like the canola oils and that kind of stuff. So just helping people educate. Most of the time it's just enjoying being with everybody as a group and seeing everybody for who they are and allowing them to be fully expressed. When you're in that retreat with other people, you truly get to feel what it's like to be with another and see what other people go through. And somebody's always at the retreat there that you didn't know that you needed, but needed you as well. And that's the beauty, is to show that like we're all mirrors, like we're all here together to nourish ourselves. And people love like what he does for the retreats. We make it fun, like we do activities. And so
it's like, you know, if you approach your body, can you say like what is good for your body, like when it comes to the movement, yes, like, or your body expression? Is it good to be tough? Is it good to be like strong? Is it good to be flexible? Is it good to be maybe it's all of it, maybe it's just in general, like you cannot be healthy if you're like looking good but you are not expressive, you are not enjoying your movement, you're not enjoying your life. You know, like our goal is to show people the completeness, you know, so you can complete the only one main purpose is to feel good. And every time when you don't feel good, why? Is because somewhere you're compensating. And you like can imitate to feel good, and we're all good at imitating to feel good, yes, but if you go inside and you ask yourself, am I feeling good right now? You know, you might say like, I'll feel good later, you know, maybe like on the weekend, maybe like when I go on vacation.
Start on Monday.
Yeah, but in reality, we don't feel good, and then like we like try to force ourselves to feel good, and still we fail. Why? Because feeling good depends on several factors, on your physical body condition. You know, it feels like what you put inside of your body, what is your body language, you know, like all of it. And the retreats, you know, like we give it the most vivid experience for people, how to experience it all, like joy, fun, and at the same time very healthy lifestyle. Imagine you go on vacation but you don't drink and you don't like
it's
eat
like
that
the opposite.
Food.
You feel good when you go home. And then too, having the experience of being with him in person, because we do our program online now, and so people love like that one-on-one learning, like, well, do it for my body, like what you did for Michelle. And so it's cool to watch him, with him watching someone's body, and like how he just knows like these little critiques could change that person's whole life. And it's just so cool to like experience. And then the glow on their face, they're like, what? Like, you know, and they feel it. And so it's just an honor to be a part of.
You just imagine that every parasite in your body is matching your emotional parasite. Yes, like, or any disalignment in your body, like a simple demonstration. If you slouch a little bit, if your head goes forward, if your shoulders go forward, you close your lungs, your ribcage collapses into your belly, everything goes wrong. And it's like any problem with your body immediately correlates with every way of your being, you know, like, and that the truth is to create a program that we can heal. For example, let's say like, where can you heal in the West? Definitely we know that if you go to the hospital, that's not a good sign, and you know you're not going to get better. Maybe you can shut down the pain. We not really focus on the true healing somehow. or on a true transformation or to true care about the body. We all go for temporal goals. And finally, like in the East, we know there are clinics that heal people. And I want to say something, like when in the West you get sick, what do? You hire a doctor. When in the East you get sick, you fire a doctor. And we completely do everything here upside down. And what blows my mind is with all the degrees that we have, with all the knowledge, like we don't see it.
Well, because we're so conditioned in our marketing and our systems, and they've done really well
to distract us
to
from
train
what
us, to distract us from what really matters.
We create the stress, like everything that you see in life, like, and that's a big part of Kurma life. Like, look, you're driving a car, the seat in your car is to destroy your posture. The couch in the house is to destroy. Every furniture is not good for your body. Look at the lifestyle is stress. We are always stressed out, and the stress condition your breathing in a certain way, condition your muscle in your body language, and it becomes a vicious circle. It becomes like a squirrel running in a wheel.
Trying to like get this help that's never there.
And it's in a way like, how can you ever feel good? How can you ever achieve what you want to achieve if you are conditioned this way, for example? And now like we have to recondition it and to, okay, like, so now you are stressed out, you are conditioned for stress, and now you want to stop being stressed out, but your body is conditioned. So you wake up and you already go into stress without your will. So like even if you want to apply all your willpower, you won't be able to stop that fear inside of you, that stress inside of you. Why? Because now you have to recondition yourself on every level. So you have to learn how to move without tension. And we call it like a new body language, or true body language, yes, like all of it. As I call the true clinic or the true healing, is when you come and you can recondition your body, not only because you want to heal your hip or you want to heal your back pain or you want to, you know, like to disease to go away. No, I'm talking about like to come and to feel amazing and to feel your best self and to be your best self, and always. Always.
And that's how Kurma Life is helping to change humanity. Is like it's all connected. It's like you're gonna start having better dreams at night. You're gonna just have better sex and
everything.
That's it.
You know, like I travel in my dreams every night. I go to sleep. I travel in 5D dreams, and I I could not even dream about. I have like out of body experiences, like it's like normal. You know, that's what happens when you treat your body right. But what I want to say, like also, like if you want to destroy humanity, what would you do as an evil mind? Is to destroy your posture. Okay. Can you look at the person that has a lack of confidence? Look at his posture, her posture.
It's like,
you know, like look at our body language, and if your posture is not correct, you will never be your best self. Because your body is your instrument. Your spine in yoga is antenna. And when you sit in yoga, you cross your legs and you put your antenna straight. In reality, who we are, like right now, like you're doing the broadcast, you're channeling.
You're a channel.
You're channeling.
Christine Beyond
you know,
channel.
we all have a different channels, but if your antenna is deformated, you like cannot channel your best.
Static is like...
And like that's what came to my mind as one of the inspirations. Like, oh my God, like what if we can go to schools? What if we can go to our children and from the very early age we educate them how to love their body, how to sit straight.
What poisons are good, what poisons
imagine
are bad.
if you love your body, you'll never hurt another person. If you love your body, if you feel good, you'll never go to do war and to harm. It's impossible. And it came to me like without the good posture, you cannot really hope for a better humanity. That's very simple. But as we say, simple people don't buy. You know, and that's what came with the simplicity is the fuel for the body and the correct posture, you know, as a foundation. From that foundation, you know, we can build further like in the mental health and emotional health and the spiritual health. But again, if you come back to the roots, without the posture, without the body awareness, none of it you can build because that's foundation. They say like if you don't have the foundation, your roof is gonna go down, you know, you're gonna go crazy.
And it's amazing too because when you're doing all this healing work from the inside shining out, you're really just unblocking all of this energy, this stagnant energy that's been stored in our body from childhood with stretching and opening up your heart, and then you're cleansing, you're eating all this great food, you're detoxing. It's like all of these blockages and just dark energy just starts to come out of you, where you just really truly start glowing in all areas of your life because of your body movement, what you're eating, what you're consuming, how you're thinking. Like, it's all just so connected. So it is so important to have these retreats and to do things with community, like the Muscle Beach, you know, every Sunday, acro yoga and stuff. So it's all a beautiful connection. And it's a daily habit. It's something that you do every day, not just
every second.
once a month.
Once a month.
It's a lifestyle. It's not a diet.
After the holidays.
If you think about
no
it,
diet.
It's not a diet. It's
Never.
a lifestyle.
like when you come home, how do you sit? How do you stand? Somehow. But when you see the President of America, you stand very straight. When you go to important dinner, you behave very straight. But in your own way of being, you don't really care.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, for us, it's important to start focusing on the quality of our own lives and the way we feel. Without that, like, we're always gonna feel lack, and when you feel lack, you're not in control.
And you compensate.
And we've been there, done that, right? Like you said, you were addicted to all these things. Like, we're human, and so it's beautiful to make the shift. And you know, it takes time, and for some people it's right away. And so we have amazing people like you to support, you know, humanity, support people.
Get through to the other side.
Yeah.
Amazing people
With
like
ease.
us.
Like us.
Because only as a collective we are God.
Yes, and that's true.
We're all doing the work
We're all
too.
doing
Trust
the
me.
work.
Like, there's times where I'm like, oh, let me just go down the rabbit hole today. And then I'm like, wait, is it worth it? Like, my mind, you know, the power of the mind, like, you just talk to yourself, and you are your own best friend, and it's up to you. Like, it's up to you to make this shift, this beautiful shift that is so worth it.
Amen.
Amen.
Chandelier.
So I know you have some amazing friends here who want to share their story. They have beautiful testimonies. So I think we should bring your friends over, and they could, you know, each share what their experience through KURMA Life and the retreats, and just their experiences and what they've witnessed, and their shift and their growth and their transformation. So let's do that.
Let's do that. Come on down, guys.
So hi everybody, I am Myodo Jabo, and I'm the owner of Open Door Yoga. I get to see all of the exercise stuff, the posture awareness, the cooking classes, all of that, and it's just amazing. It's so fantastic and transformative. And Michelle also is a master teacher of yoga and is our main teacher in our yoga teacher training program. So if anybody out there is interested in furthering the cause of yoga and bringing yoga to more people and becoming a certified teacher, then we do have an excellent program that Michelle has put together. And although I own the studio, I know when somebody's a better teacher than I am, and Michelle is a way better yoga teacher. She has forgotten more about yoga than I will ever know. So I get her to do that stuff. She does the heavy lifting and the yoga teacher training. And I'm very, very grateful to have her. Anything that these two are behind, I can't recommend highly enough, because they really know their stuff and they make it simple and accessible. If you watch the videos of them, whether it's teaching yoga or teaching how to do something in the kitchen, it's very simple. It's step by step. They take you by the hand, and they're just both fantastic teachers.
Hi, my name is Matthew Feistinger, and I am married to Lindsay. My wife and I met Michelle and Oleg back in 2019, and we've had a wonderful experience getting to know them. We took a retreat in 2021 to Costa Rica and experienced a magnificent time, whether it's journeying out in the jungle or practicing aerial yoga or doing all kinds of fun and interesting things on the river or in nature. It was just a magical time, getting rained on and, you know, having the experience of, you know, everything that Costa Rica has to offer. We've done yoga together, we've done so many different things. And I'm blessed to be in a relationship with them, and it's truly remarkable.
Hey guys, I'm Chris Howie, and most recent client here. And I had a great experience with this program. I was searching for something that would be like the best solution to my life and the problems that I was having. And I was introduced to these two. There was so much transformation in my life and creativity that I think this came about, you know, and it was like I was being led towards it. When I met these two, I realized that they had something that I wasn't finding, you know. There was a lot of unheard of resolve in people's lives that they were able to provide, you know. I wanted it so badly that I signed up with them and I did everything that their program has to offer. And I followed it as closely as possible because I wanted that transformation so bad, you know. And I went from a size 40 to a size 34 in 4 months. I went from 225 pounds to 175 pounds. All the inflammation and everything that was going on at the time left, and I was able to experience this experience that is just so amazing. It's a lifetime experience, you know. I'm really grateful to be here, grateful to be in the presence of really good people, and grateful to have this opportunity to completely change my life around. So thank you. This is a size 40 pant. Right now I'm wearing a size 34 and I have room. My doctor had recommended to me that I start all these different medications. And one of them was for pre-diabetes. My blood panel said that I had abnormal levels in every category and that my cholesterol was so high that I was gonna need medication for that as well. And the last panel that we did was a couple of weeks ago. That panel is in optimal levels on every category, and my cholesterol is low enough that I don't have to take medication for it. So some of this stuff is unheard of, perhaps, but I think really maybe it can't be said in certain medical professionals. But I would say that these people can do what's unheard of.
So my name is Lindsay Farrenbaugh. I started befriending Michelle, just staying at the juicery with her, and then we became friends and we lived together for a short period of time, and it really is immersion into the lifestyle, into the community, into the culture of eating nutrient food, moving your body, working through your issues. I started a sobriety journey with my husband. We weren't married yet, but we met through Landmark, and it's changed my life drastically. I noticed right away I was able to digest food. I was able to sleep well, like you had said, dreams I never had before. I just slowly started taking away the things that didn't feel good anymore, and my body would start to actually heal. And I started taking it on slowly, and I met Oleg through Michelle, and he is just so generous and loving, and he just really wants the best for every individual he comes in contact with. And just the quality of life that's created through tiny little adjustments in your body, and you don't even have to work out. You just hold your structure in a healthy manner, and it's a workout. You're like, what is going on? I'm just sitting here sweating. And it's remarkable, but it's so real. And being in your body, being well in your body has changed my life forever. And I was so willing and ready and looking for something that I needed a difference that I didn't even know I needed. And then when you have it, you're like, oh, how long can I do this? How is this possible? Making it sustainable, making it feel natural, and the association is so priceless. We went to Costa Rica, and that was such an adventure. We had so much fun. You can be with people, you can be in other places, you can have different types of food, but it becomes your life, and it's just layers on top of layers, and then peeling off those layers and being willing to add new layers and adjust and let go of how you used to be is priceless and remarkable and transformational. And the language and the thoughts and the self-love and how you start treating yourself and how that is transferred into somebody else, how much of an impact people create on each other and help each other. It's undeniable. You can't even explain it because you have to experience it. I wish we could just give you exactly what you need and exactly what you want. But if you don't know what you don't know, then how are you supposed to know what you need or what you want? If you don't know what's available, then how are you going to even know that's a possibility? And it's just immersion and submersion and submission and just development. It's incredible to discover the union in your body that God's given you divinely at birth, and then to discover what we've been doing isn't optimal. And then you're like, okay, how do I recreate this? How do I discover it newly? How do I release what was, you know? And knowing those little triggers, like arching your back, drinking water that's hydrating, choosing to take off things like addiction and alcoholism and drugs of all nature, and being willing to stay strong in that and know that that's what's right for you, and not allowing somebody who hasn't done it or hasn't been through it speak down on what you're trying to accomplish within yourself and your positivity. And you have to just take that leap of faith of like, I'm worth it. I respect that this is what you choose to do and this is what I choose to do, and I love you no matter what. And then meeting new people and having a new community and getting to see everybody's faces just light up and have this like glow about them, and then sharing it with other people and watching them go through the detox, watching them go through the transformation. It's like, oh, it's real, it's attainable, it's longevity, vitality, just the magic that we're all looking for. And I'm grateful forever to have created this relationship with myself, with others, with our community, and meeting such amazing people that make such an impact, that already have system in place and that have, you know, it all figured out in their sector and their knowledge. And we get to take all these golden nuggets from everybody and apply them to our life. And then we have friends that keep us accountable, and by living it out. And they're like this everywhere, anywhere. They're just living it out. And you literally get to watch them do it every single day. It's how they live. It's how they are. It's in their being. And we're always going to keep learning. And my personal thing is I'm a sponge, and I just keep wringing it out and then soaking back up the good stuff, leaving what I don't need, and then trying on new stuff, and then wringing it out and soaking it back up. I'm having that childlike thoughts. I want to learn this. You know, a kid doesn't say, oh, I'm not going to get back up and not walk because I fell down and it hurt. No, they just keep getting up and keep doing it over and over and over and over again. And I wish we would just all go back to that childlike being of, I love myself, this is fun, this is adventurous, this is new, this is so much, like, there's so much freedom in it. And I think that's what we're all really looking for, is just being our true selves, our authentic beings, and loving ourselves for it, and loving each other where we're at. And it doesn't matter if you've been here for a day or a minute or a second or 20, 30, 40, 50 years. We're all really here to help each other. So thanks for letting me share, guys.
Beautiful stories. Thank you so much for sharing. It means the world. It's so beautiful to share our experiences, to inspire one another. I feel like everyone has a story to tell. Everyone could inspire someone. So, where can we find you guys?
You can find us on KURMALife.com. You can also catch us on our IG. Mine is Michelle_Lorraine_Vinsky, which is kind of challenging. His is much easier. His is
Oleg Flow Yoga.
How often are your guys' retreats? Like, when is your next one?
Next weekend. Yeah, we're off to the Sequoias at the Marriott, and we still have a couple spots left. But we also have another one coming up in Memorial, same location, Sequoias at the Marriott. And then looking forward to Costa Rica and Hawaii in July.
Stay tuned. It was an honor to talk to all of you guys. It's the day before my birthday. We're going to enjoy some raw vegan pie. What did you make me?
I made you a peanut butter raw cheesecake. It's peanut butter cup, Reese's Pieces.
Made out of plants.
Yes.
No, nothing more. Like, no chemicals.
Yes.
So thank you so much for watching this video. We love you all so, so much. And until next time, have a beautiful day. Mwah.
Cheesecake!
Cheesecake! Time for some cake.